Okay, guys, buy or sell round is next. First topic: buy or sell brutality in sports. Are there some sports where there's too much brutality, or is there not enough brutality?
Like peanuts to an elephant, I'm gonna sell this. The risk is known, and in many ways, it is accepted by society on whole. I mean, think about boxing. The state commissions that are in place, referees, trainers, the managers of all the boxers that are there. I mean, Emil Griffith beating Benny Paret to death. I mean, you cannot use one example to demonize an entire sport, because if you did that, you can say that every single sport in existence is brutal. If anything is brutal, it's the way that the media portrays instances like this, and the way that the critics try to blast any sport and try to just make it something ugly.
Yeah, I'm also going to sell this one. I mean, when Emil Griffith was beating Benny Paret, I mean, you have to, it's in the ref and the coach's hand. They have to be knowledgeable enough to, stop the fight. They know when their man can't fight back. And just like today, I mean, sports, I think we're making it too easy for, anybody to play the sport. You have to have some sense of athletic ability to be able to play and withstand a season in any sport.
Well, I want to be the elephant in the room, and I'm totally going to buy your peanuts. These games, like boxing, MMA, even some examples in football and hockey, these sports are designed to cause physical harm to people and to go out and to basically put them in physical pain.
Well, I'm going to have to sell this issue as far as there being too much brutality in sports. I don't believe that in most team-structured sports, from an early age, as long as children are taught when they grow up to be bigger athletes and participate in team sports, that no, when done right, there is no too much brutality in team sports.
But
a lot of the aggressive sports that we're talking about, like the MMA or even boxing and football and stuff like that, all those, they're violent sports, we can say that, but brutal is taking it to another level. Like, there is structure and discipline that is not only part of those sports, it's instilled into you as you're training for them.
Exactly, unlike the violence and brutality in most of your Hollywood movies.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that sometimes you'll have kids start out at a very young age playing these sports, and a lot of their coaches don't know what they're talking about, or if they do have some coaches what they're talking about, they're trying to pep them up, and that makes them more violent, causing them to go out and do more brutal things to their opponent.
Is that the sport's fault, or is it the people behind it?
But it's part of the sport. The coaches teach that sport.
No,
they're teaching it the wrong way.
Just like in the NFL, these guys have got to the position they're at because of the coaches and the trainers and the people that they've had around them to teach them the sport. They're not, decleating someone just because they want to. They're doing it because that's how the game is played, and if you want to win, you play the game to its, you play to your full potential.
But helmet-to-helmet collisions, they cause brain damage.
That's why you have a helmet.
They still cause brain damage.
Well,
so what
are you
saying? That we're just supposed to not play football?
Tell us by your definitions then what sport is not brutal.
Well, I'm just curious what you suggest.
Basketball, soccer.
Knees get blown
Yeah,
out.
but I don't go into a tackle saying I'm gonna break this guy's leg.
And
nobody goes into. I don't believe in any sport anybody goes into.
You can't tell me that in football people don't go in there to knock this guy out.
I
was watching the John Gruden quarterback camp the other day, and the coach of Washington was basically applauding his players for knocking two Nebraska players out of the game.
Well,
physically hurting them.
Agree to disagree.
Okay, our next topic in buy or sell are Olympics. Are they a political platform, or are they just merely organized games?
I totally agree that the Olympics can be a political platform for different countries. I mean, look at the 1936 Olympics. It was a coming out party for Nazism, and you have Jesse Owen, African American, who came in and swept, was by far the best athlete or most successful athlete in that Olympic game.
Well, I totally agree with that. I'm buying this as well. Like what happened in '68 when John Carlos and Tommy Smith won the 200 meters. They held up their hands like this as a sign of Black power.
Yeah, I'm definitely buying this one as well. I mean, in the 1980 U.S. boycott, we didn't want to go to Russia because they sent troops into Afghanistan. I mean, if politics weren't a part of the Olympics, then we would have, the 5 or 6 countries that boycotted would have sent athletes to participate.
Totally going to buy sports as a political platform. 1972 Munich Games, a group of Palestinian terrorists kidnapped some Israeli athletes that were there, and they actually kidnapped them from the compound of the Olympic Games, and lives were lost. It's a tragedy when something like that happens, but the main reason why the Palestinians did something like that was because they knew the world was watching. The world was watching the Olympics. It's the world stage, and they wanted to be heard. So yeah, I totally buy sports being or the Olympics being the political platform, but I just like a receipt at the end of this.
Okay, that's the end of the round. And looking at the point totals, looks like Josh is the odd one out. Josh, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I would first of all like to say the Yankees suck, and I'm predicting a Boston Rangers ALCS showdown.
Buzzer.
Okay, that's it for the buy or sell round. Josh has been eliminated. We're going to come at you with Out of Bounds next, but this previous segment was brought to you by the upcoming movie The Falcon and the Birds of Prey, coming to theaters fall 2012.